There must be darkness before light can shine. We're giving a voice to the voiceless, and we are honoring those and those left behind who have given the ultimate sacrifice. So we the people, raise up your glass. There will be no fear here, where light is eternal. You have found the two-step tribe. Welcome home.
In the glow of a screen, with hope in our hearts, celebrating freedom, we'll play our parts. From football fields to the ring of a fight, we hold our heads high in this American life. Raise up your glasses, a toast to the night. For service and sacrifice, we shine a light. With boots on the ground, we're proud and we cheer. Together we stand with no room for fear. Here's to the heroes remembered in song. With every sweet note, let our spirits grow strong. In unity, laughter, we'll rise and we'll pray for freedom and honor, come what may.
Hello. I think I'm going to do it. Hold on 1 second really quick. Uncle Ryano, how are you doing? It is Two-Step Tribe coming to you with Uncle Ryano. Tracy, Two-Step. We're jumping right in it, and I'm going to do it to you, Uncle Ryano. Hey, hey, hey.
Dynamite.
I got you covered here. It is Two-Step Tribe checking in with you through the network groups, the broadcast groups. Got a shout out to Heroes Media Group because we got Rusty Mihm on here with us tonight too. We went ahead and just grabbed our crew up here. Katie, Beth Mihm, and Rusty Mihm are here with us. They are part of Tribe, have been a part of Tribe through and through. So we grab them right here at the beginning of the show and say, you're part of us, your family, jump in here and let's all get in the show. Uncle Ryano, you're looking svelte there in your black, all laid back in that white chair.
Yeah, it's I have the room blacked out so often. I like dark places. So I'll be hanging out in here. I had to put this chair in here so I wouldn't keep losing my furniture.
Well, guess what?
She said, "Ha!" You're not funny. Okay.
Yeah. You've been doing the show so much. Everybody, you are on Two-Step Tribe. That is the number 2. Do not spell that out. Two-Step Tribe. Go check that out, YouTube. You want to see what we're doing. You want to understand what we're saying. You want to visualize us and the artists and what they have and what they're going to be bringing you. Go check this episode out on YouTube at Two-Step Tribe. And again, you can find Two-Step Tribe on all the platforms, but we want you to see the full episode which comes out because we are radio, we are network, a broadcast, and podcast. So again, shout out to our radio stations out there carrying the tribe at Two-Step Tribe 2. We would thank you all. We have so much news between women in music coming up, Uncle Ryano. So congratulations out there to Emily. We'll do an announcement later about that. But we have women in music coming up, and I'm looking at Katie as I say that because she has no clue what I'm talking about yet. So this is Katie, Beth Mihm, and Rusty Mihm, fabulous singer-songwriters band doing so much. And they actually started out with us probably in one of our first shows together, Uncle Ryano, right? I think
that's true.
I think it was.
And they're so chill and comfortable now. It's highly probable Rusty's not wearing pants.
I'm not.
Well, that's why I say go find the episode then. If you'd like to really see what's going on here, you go find the episode.
For the exclusive content.
Exactly.
Yeah, exclusive. Yes.
Yeah, the hidden surprises. You never know what's behind us, literally.
Yes.
Katie Beth is on tonight. Katie Beth, you've been very, very busy. You've been in Nashville, I hear. You've also had some hits going on. I think Here I Go, your song, is somewhere in the top 10 overseas. Am I
Yes.
right?
Yes, I believe it's number 9 right now.
Nice.
So this week it's number 9, and I'm thankful for that and for all the Europe support that we have. And we are top 50 in Texas for that song.
At certain charts, it
Mhm.
debuted.
They're different.
It debuted in the top
No
100.
comment.
And the day it debuted, the radio promoter called and said, "Who do you know?" And I said, "What are you talking about? I don't know anybody." I said, "I know Uncle Ryano. That's who I know." He said, No. Who do you know at whatever stations?" And I was like, "Nobody." I said, "Why?" He said, y'all song debuted at the top 100, and that never happens.
Yeah.
Day one on the
Yeah,
chart.
we got to do a big shout out to Nick Burnett's Pizzigiani because he's
awesome.
an OG tribe member over there with Whiskey and Cigarettes radio show. So big shout out and thank you for the love, Nick.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's great.
tribe.
He's a lot of fun.
We love it. So connecting with tribes, so that's what we've been very busy at doing while everyone else has been off doing their things too, and building up everything for not just the artist, but the community itself too, and the people. So building up tribe, building up Two-Step Tribe and a foundation that supports its community, the people, the songwriters, the kids, a whole community at large. And by doing that, we have people all over. So as Uncle Ryano likes to say, Uncle Ryano, you tell them where we're broadcasting. Where are we broadcasting, Uncle Ryano?
Well, we are all over Europe. Actually, we're going out through Whiskey and Cigarettes radio show. I mean, Nick's got it going out to 40 plus syndicated stations just on Swamp 107.5. That's 60 syndicated stations that radio show runs through, and they carry us. And that's 60 stations. That's 195 countries, millions of people. Then you have Heroes Media Group, which is radio, podcast, digital, terrestrial. It is 2.1 to 2.4 million visitors just a month, just to the website. That's just the people that come to the website to see, the millions are the ones that are actually listening on the airwaves. And then as we continue to move, we're working with other tribe members like Iconic Radio to bring that together. That'll be to Houston market, which is 9 million people plus. And then through the digital side, through internet, it goes out around the world as well. So that's a quick snapshot.
Yeah, and that's without the social media platforms. So because when you're an artist, like you just said, who do you know? Your music's going somewhere and you don't know where the heck it is. It's like, well, connecting the tribe and trying to connect the people that are doing business because they're working as a whole for the people. That's what we've been busy doing. We've been busy trying to figure out what is the I'm all about community, you know that. So on this tonight on Two-Step Tribe, one of the first I think it was before Uncle Ryano, actually. So Rusty Mihm, he served in the service. So I say thank you for your service. And anyone that knows me knows that I have another show that's also very focused on service, the community, and thanking even humanitarians. I'm not going with just veterans. I'm trying to say people who go above and beyond, people that do things that the average person is not going to step up to do. We hope they do. We try to encourage that. And so we have that show as well. So we got to get Rusty actually on early because of our Patriots Inside the Wire show, which actually brings us a lot of really good people, just like Tribe. So thanks to that, we got to get to know your band early and Katie Beth and actually meet with you in person. And Katie Beth, y'all need to come look at Two-Step Tribe on the YouTube just to see her jewelry, because I'm trying to look past it and talk to her, but I want to ask her about it. But I want to ask her first, is she getting sponsored, or at least is the brand an ambassador to her, because she is sponsoring them like crazy. And if you're not, I'm going to call them for you.
Please do.
They're not sponsoring her. We need them
not.
to.
My in the picture that y'all have of me, that jacket that I'm wearing where I'm sitting on the couch, that is from Double D Ranch in Fort Worth in the Stockyards.
Okay.
And then my necklace I'm wearing is from Double D Ranch. Also, they're a silversmith makes these. So each piece that they make, and
It's unique to the individual.
yeah, it is.
Here's that picture she was just talking about. You're
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
jacket is from Double D Ranch, and I
Yeah.
would love to have them sponsor me. That'd be fantastic.
You ain't no cowgirl is what it said. You ain't no cowgirl, y'all. We're gonna get into that one. That's the
like
new
the
one.
perfect slogan for them.
Yeah.
You ain't no cowgirl unless you wear our stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely have to either, or I can. You can just send me their information. I am good at that. You definitely want to make sure that the brands you're wearing are representing you as well back. Easy way to do that for us is by the hats, the jewelry. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
We hope that they would. I bet you they would. If they don't, there's a bunch of them out there. So the good news is, Uncle Ryano, between our two-step tribe business, the two-step foundation, and the new awards association that we have so much news. It's too much to give in this one episode. But the good news is that we're getting to share this with Katie, Beth, and Rusty Mihm here tonight with the new awards show and other things that will be coming up. And you want to tell them what the name of all of that is, Uncle Ryano?
Well, we're still early. These are all very early phases of all this, but we've got we've got America's Music Awards. We've got this set up in place. You've got the Sergeant Two-Step Concert Series that you guys are familiar with because you hear all the chatter in-house, from what we're all working on. We've discussed it at length with you guys. We have Patriot Fest, which is also something that we're working towards, which will be partnering with military bases, as well as the Stars and Bars Tour, which will connect venues in between those anchor dates. So there's a lot to it. And we've got some other things moving, but the biggest really is the nonprofit, the foundation that's up and running. The Sergeant Two-Step Foundation is really the heartbeat and the heart and soul of everything while we came back to have a service oriented mission. So that's why we're back. You guys know this because y'all have worked with me privately, when no cameras or anybody's watching. So you know that's really where our heart is, and Tracy's the same way. So while we're doing this, this is setting up a mechanism for other people to step in and help us help so many others. And everyone walks around saying, yeah, we need to fix this. Okay, who's we and when you want to get in on it, right? Everybody can be critical, but very few can step forward and actually do something about it. And that's what we're trying to do to the best of our ability with all of you guys. Y'all are coming in and y'all are bringing the lightning. And that's to Tracy's point earlier. Tribe is not just country music. It's hip hop, rock, alternative, EDM, Americana, bluegrass, gospel, and Texas country and red dirt country and all kinds of different fusions in between, reggae, New Orleans jazz, salsa, Tejano. That's American music. All of that is American music, and no one more than the other. And together, collectively, we're all trying to pour into this one mission, which is tribe, which at the pinnacle of that is a smaller group, which is all part of tribe, but it's two-step tribe.
It is all tribe, and it's all about people in the community. And I feel like if you forget about that part, then you've pretty much forgotten your way. So got to hit the reset button, go back to the basics, and start remembering about the people. So I know that you both feel very strongly about that as well. Community, family, taking care of each other. So I want to hear what is going on because I'm hearing that you're got a song at number 9 in another country, but yet you were in Nashville and yet you ain't no cowgirl. And I'm like, but are you a cowgirl? So
absolutely.
I'm confused.
No, I'm definitely a cowgirl. I promise. My family is all ranchers, and most of my family's professional cowboys and cowgirls.
Mhm.
So me and my husband live, on our ranch, and we have horses, and we do homesteading and things like that. We don't have any cattle, but we have horses and chickens and rabbits. And
I was
You know,
messing with you, but it
they
is
got
true.
one-
She literally is.
I have a huge garden, so that counts, right? But
Yeah, when I go to stay, I'm gonna crash at their place out there in the middle of the wide open Texas Panhandle desert.
it's
Hey,
beautiful.
sir.
It's beautiful here where
It'll be
we live.
peaceful.
They have one chicken that's gonna chase me.
I do have one rooster that
Rooster will
probably.
chase you.
But Tracy, you were asking about that song.
Yes.
So that song. Thanks, Jimmy Ninja.
He said he'd seen you farming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have my overalls and everything.
Yeah.
So You Ain't No Cowgirl, I wrote because I was getting kind of picked on by some mean women in my life. And I was like, and Rusty's like, you should write a song about it. Kind of the bless your heart song. So I wrote that song, for basically calling out all the buckle bunnies for being fakers and just any women that belittle other women and are ugly and hateful, calling them out like, hey, who are you? You ain't no cowgirl, So that's what the song's about is don't be fake and mean because you're going to get called out by, don't pick on people. I don't like bullies. So that's what that song's about.
No, you're giving me all kinds of ideas for songs, though. It was like, keep talking. Hey, I love it. I love it. You Ain't No Cowgirl. At least just didn't get beeped out a lot because I actually said the F word, which is, y'all, it is really rare for me, but I got back into music not long ago, and I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is going on in Texas? Y'all need to get this together. So the America's Music Awards and the foundation and getting back together with people, celebrating in all these different lanes is what we need to do, and we are going to do.
Yeah.
So actually what you just said, I'm sitting over here going, yes, I definitely understand every bit of that. And it's, I would say it's both genders, and it's just something even outside of music right now. And I think we just got to do a hard stop and in our own community around ourselves, watch our own energy and create our own environment.
Yeah.
And so that is why the foundation, that is why the music awards, just as we've had you, actually, just since we've seen you in person, was all born. So it had been talked about because of other people who, like Uncle Ryano. There are a lot of people that we won't name names because I don't want to forget somebody and then I'll get a phone call. But, the different things that he speaks on, the panels, the things that aren't even just Texas. We love Texas, but gosh, bless it, Texas. Come on. That needs to be another song too. Like, open your doors. How are you doing? Be nice. Let's all get together again and remember what we're supposed to be doing here. And that is creating something for everybody. And for me, music is medicinal. Writing is therapeutic. And I know it is for a lot of people in a lot of different areas. And so Pictures Inside the Wire is the main productions company. And so I do work with a lot of first responders, veterans, families that are in very high pressure, stressful grief, just situations that are just not, they don't have time to sit and wonder about who they're going to go mess with, right? It's like, it is 911. It's serious stuff going on. Not that everyone else does it, but this is stuff where you don't have a moment to think about these things that we're grateful enough to think about. But I've been in the other side too. And I'm like, man, I can't get edged over into the always being in an urgent situation or a grounded situation. So we saw the need, and I think everybody has seen the need, and we're not the only ones. So it's a lot of people that it will take to come together, and a lot of people that have been talking. So we're looking forward to that. And Beth Mihm, y'all, that's MIHM, because if you're on radio paying attention, you're checking out the broadcast podcast, and you're not viewing on Two Step Tribe on YouTube. And we are on the social platforms. I keep saying YouTube, so you can come see what she's wearing. You can come see Uncle Ryano kicked back over there in his fedora. And you can also understand who we really are. You Ain't No Cowgirl. Is that your latest single out right now?
Yes, ma'am.
It just went out to radio last week, I think.
Or 2 weeks ago.
Or 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
2 weeks ago.
And I'm told
Okay.
it's doing well. I think it's going to debut on the charts this weekend. So.
Yeah, that should. We don't have any numbers yet
Yeah.
because it's still, you know, a baby, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We always get our numbers on Sundays, usually Sunday evenings, so we know to share with everybody. And as soon as we know something, we always, you know, are pretty good about posting it. That way we keep everybody in the loop of what we're doing. And we also have a brand new app.
Oh, yeah.
And so people can stay in the loop with that, you know, better because it's got push notifications for you.
That we actually got from
Keith.
He developed the app for the Springboard Festival, and so we got to have him develop our app. So that's another a tribe thing that happened, you know. So.
Yes. Yeah, gotta love tribe, right? So Two-Step Tribe is tribe. Gotta love tribe. So yes, the apps you can go to is Katie Beth. Is it just KatieBeth.myApp?
I think it's either /my app or .my app. Let me look. I have to look.
I think it's .myApp. Yeah, I was looking. So contact us.
My app.
Yeah, at .myApp. Yep, I got you covered.
My app is what it is.
Yeah,
This is turning into a totally different show.
Yeah, not that one. Bubba Samurai Rules. All right, there's Jimmy there. Jimmy, you'll have to get in touch with me. We got to get you on. I see your message there. Thank you, hun. I will off air let Katie Beth hear that. He's talking about Jesus Whispers. Thank you, Jimmy. So Katie Beth, You Ain't No Cowgirl. Now we've got one at number 9. Here I Go is what it's Here I Go. I know that song. And that's at number 9. And then you've got another one in there too, Neon Moon. How is Neon Moon doing?
So Neon Moon on streaming is doing great. I think there's a couple of radio stations that are playing.
Yeah. So it's out at a few radio stations. Like when we do the radio tour and stuff, and people want some extra music.
I think people were very surprised at it when they heard it. They're like, "Oh wow, who's doing this?" And then they're like, "Wait, a girl's doing this. We've never heard a girl do this song." So I tried to kind of be, you know, that element of surprise, but. I tried to be really, really careful recording that song because I wanted to give it the utmost respect and care that I could, you know, just like it was my very own. And so I hope that Brooks and Dunn get to hear that song and think, wow, that's neat that she did that. So.
Well, I think you did it justice.
That's kind of my hopes and dreams for that song, that they hear, you know.
Yeah. I love it. And I actually have it in here. So I have all 3 in here. I do want to bring something out while we're fresh into the show. Katie Beth, you have a show coming up. And this show is June 28th, Saturday, 7:30 at Table at I'm so country. Yeah, I was going to say Medaley, but
it's Medaley, I think.
I'm country. Conroe, Texas, because I know Conroe very, very well. Live music is Katie Beth Mihm right here with us right now. Katie Beth Mihm and Coyote Rose, the band from Mihm Ranch Records. They will be in Conroe, Texas at 7:30 on June 28th. Katie Beth, have you had any marketing or individuals in that area yet successfully? And if not, I need to put you in touch with some people.
I have no idea. I feel like this is a rusty question.
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
As far as I know, no, we have not.
I sound like cornbread. He's messing with me big time now.
His work called, sorry.
It's okay. So I know the answer to it actually. So Rusty is actually a veteran. The reason I'm saying it is in Conroe, Texas, Honor Cafe. Have you heard of it? Honor Cafe is ran by Chris. He's a veteran. They're very, very big on supporting their own there in Conroe. So they're almost every other restaurant right there in that district where you'll be playing. Either a veteran runs it or their family.
Oh, that's
So
great.
not
Yeah.
only is the local radio station down the street, there's a Gold Star mom that works in marketing there. There is, and you'll know what that is, but there are, so Honor Cafe, his name is Chris. You need to get on the phone with him, is my suggestion to you, Rusty, so that you can get that place packed. Because as soon as you say, hey, I'm a veteran and we're coming in to play, it'll get packed.
All right. I'm going to write this.
That is why we picked Conroe, Texas, too, for the two-step concert series. That town is really big on supporting, and just I got to give it to them. They're very good at that in Conroe, Texas. So shout out to Conroe, Texas.
I think,
where
well,
you'll
and two of our tribe members live right there, I think.
Yeah, right there in Montgomery County, Celeste.
And
We're actually staying with them Friday.
Peyton lives down the road
And then
from
Peyton
her.
Riley lives down there.
Yeah. So Celeste Wilson, yes. But for Rusty, the reason this works for you, Katie Beth, is because Chris, who's on our cafe, and several of the business owners are all veterans. So
Yeah,
when
that's
they
awesome.
hear
Thank you.
of another one coming to town, they immediately go, hey, let's back our own. Not that they don't back everybody, but I'm just giving you a tip here. Now I've told everybody, but you got to be in that lane. It's not like you can lie and go, well, you could, but you'd be really dumb. I wouldn't do that. That would be dumb. But Rusty, there with what you're doing, and because the music is great anyway, and anybody that's looking for somewhere to go, that would be a great spot to go. June 28th, you can go hear Katie Beth Mihm and Coyote Rose have them playing right there in Conroe, Texas. So say the name of the location again for me, because I just got told I sound like cornbread.
At Mandeli's.
Yeah, table at it's Madeley, I think.
He did it too.
Madeley? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's,
Yeah.
sorry for saying that wrong. I think it's Mandeli's.
And they've got, if you follow the event on Facebook, there's ticket links. They've got, you can go to their website. They've got the tickets on there, but I've been sharing the ticket link. And I guess he emailed me today, the guy that is the manager or the owner, and said, we've already sold quite a bit of tickets. So that's good.
Yeah, it's a great location for that. So yeah, that is June 28th. Everybody check that out and get to the show. I have no idea. You're going to have to answer this. Uncle Ryano Cornbread, who is, I know it, like what show, what movie, who is that? They're saying I sound like cornbread. And then Rusty is
I don't know who the reference is, but I know that it's country as a hoe handle.
If
they say that you sound like matzo cornbread, well, that's going to be obviously Yonkers in New York, and that's not happening.
It's a twist up between Rusty and I on which one is more country and sounds like cornbread. And I think cornbread is actually in a movie. It's a character, I think.
I don't know.
They're cracking up.
Just say it was a cartoon. That one of the characters.
I didn't know I sounded
cornbread.
that country.
Rusty says I sound like I speak feed yard. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I tell people she was born in a feed yard.
Yeah. Well, I do. I don't know what to tell you, but I am. So I actually don't even think that I am, unless I maybe am riled up or something. But other than that, I don't think so. But I think I've gotten riled up a little bit around a couple of these people, so they're just not letting me live it down. Uncle Ryano. Yeah, we love it. Hey, shout out to Jimmy there. Jimmy, we're going to get you on the show. Please share, tune in to the tribe, grab your friends, your loved ones. We've got some great music coming your way here at Two Step Tribe with Rusty and Katie Beth Mihm. Katie Beth, I grew up in Nashville. Were you just in Nashville?
Yes, ma'am. We were in Franklin, and we were recording at Off the Row Studios with PT Houston and Aaron McCafferty.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a new album with 4 songs on it, so it'll be like an EP album. And then we went into Nashville. We went to a really cool place that was, I guess, in downtown Nashville. It was called, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of what it is. It's for songwriters, and you go, I can't think of what
those listening rooms.
The listening room. That's what it was the listening room. Yes, that's what it was. The listening room. And we went, and so we got to meet the people who wrote some songs for Blake Shelton and for Jelly Roll, and I can't remember who else they said, but they were really cool. Rusty keeps leaving because his work is calling him because they don't know what to do. So they got to ask him.
It happens.
Sorry about that.
Keep us on our toes there, Jimmy. Come on, keep it coming at us. Keep sharing. We like this. It makes the numbers go like this. It keeps every time, so that's a good thing. So you mentioned Franklin. So yes, Franklin,
Franklin was beautiful. Yeah. Nashville was really cool. We got to after we were done in the studio the next day, because we were there for I guess we were there for like 5 days or something. And so we had a great time, but we finally the last day got to go, we went to the Johnny Cash Museum and we went to Jelly Roll's bar that he has. That was pretty cool to see. And then
he's asking if you have chili.
And then we went to Lainey Wilson's Bell Bottoms Up bar. Oh my gosh, that was super cool. I bought a new pair of leopard print bell bottoms in there from her gift store, and I can't wait to wear them. I'm gonna wear them this weekend to Conroe. So
nice.
It was an experience for sure. I really appreciate a lot of art, and I really appreciate a lot of different types of people. So that was really cool when we went.
I like that.
Yeah, you had the opportunity to experience the best in the world all came from different places in the world. They're not the best of an area. They're the best in the world. And they come there and they compete. Thank you. They come and they compete. And the next thing you know, I mean, that's how that kind of pressure is how diamonds pop out. And so, it's for you guys to see, you grow up in an area and you're told, like me, I grew up in East Texas and I was told everybody up north is rude and has no manners and all this stuff. And then I go to New York and they spoke different, but it was like the friendliest, funniest people that I hung out with, and they took me under their wing and they just wanted to hear me speak because to them I sounded funny, and same thing in Boston, same thing in Maine. And then, of course, across the Midwest. And y'all are going to see that as you leave home. And you're a good representative of where you're from.
Yeah.
You're going to go to these other places and reflect well on Texas. And you'll go to other places and you're going to see that, man, there are awesome, beautiful, good people all over the United States.
Yeah.
And then that makes you start to second guess some of the advice and sources of it that you've had through the years. And with the talent that you get up there and you run into in Nashville, the one thing that you instantly have in common is they were all astronauts. They weren't stargazers. Every one of them took off and went to see if they were good enough. And you're up there doing it. So you instantly had that in common with everybody there. And they see it in you. Were they welcoming to you?
Oh, absolutely. The studio musicians were amazing. I was so impressed by them. They ran through all of my songs one time and just nailed it, and it was impressive to me. Like if they needed a certain line out of the song, they would, holler out numbers, be like, hey, I need, line 28 or something. And I was like, how are y'all keeping track of this? Like, that's insane.
The producer kind of showed me the way they chart the songs. He said that not everybody charted them this way in Nashville, but what he does is assigns a line number to each lyric line, right? And then you got your number system.
So they were really efficient in what they do. And they were just sweet people to work with. I got to see new instruments that I'd never seen before. I got to see, like on one of my songs, a guy played a guitar that was a French one that I'd never seen before. Mm-hmm. And then I seen, he used an Irish guitar. It was like a round Irish guitar that he used. And so it was just cool because I got to see some new things I'd never seen before. And I always appreciate that and knowing the stories behind those or how they, what they are for or what they're, so they did tell me while I was there that when they were trying to figure out how to do my melodies, PT Houston told me, he's like, you are a genius. He goes, all of your verses and your courses are different. And he goes, you're going to keep them on their toes. And so whenever the guys were doing their music and sitting there, making notes as we were playing it on the rough track, on the scratch tracks or whatever, they all kind of sat there and was like, I seen them all kind of set back and like think about it for a second. Like, wait a second, we've not seen this before. And so most of them told me, they said, we really appreciate your music because it's so different. And they told me, they said, you're really brave pioneering this new thing, because they're like, us in Nashville have not heard something like this.
Yes, so they said that it's not the standard way, and the guitar player, he was cool because he was giving me the charts. He's like, hey, here's for you. I've made notes on the charts for the guitar stuff since you play guitar. But he was asking me, he said, do you write with her and have you recorded with her? And I said, yes, but not everything. He goes, her stuff's really hard to play, huh? I said, yeah. He said, that's what makes y'all the next level, because
so that was
he said it's just not cookie cutter. He said that's what's needed in music, so
well, you did so to explain what he was saying is the craft is just that, and everything music is mathematics. Okay. Right. So and with mathematics you have to have geometry, which means you have to have a level of symmetry. Okay, so your verses match each other, your choruses match each other. You'll have a bridge or you won't. Yeah. And everything has a designed architecture. Yeah. Your music, it does. Contrary to what people's initial impression is, it does, but it's very organic. It's complicated simplicity. The way that you roll it out. That you roll it out in such a way that it seems very organic, very much like honeysuckle. Honeysuckle has a architecture, but you would know it by the way it just grows all every which direction. And that's, to me, that's how your music is. And your music is very comforting. It's very soothing. And it's got a truthfulness to it. And for what they're talking about also is because everyone, when that's all you do every day for a living, everybody's trying to look for plays on words that become so hooky and over crafted that it becomes cliche and it becomes a parody, like a cartoon version. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that you're doing is like it's not flawed, but it's perfectly imperfect. And there's a difference. And so I think that was what they were saying to you in the studio, because they're used to dealing with specific designed architectures when they're dealing with these songs. And your stuff is symmetrical, but it has a little bit of that honeysuckle wow to it.
Yeah. That would be a great song.
I was just like, oh, that. Let me grab.
I use that as a song prompt.
Yeah, I can do this all day. I can do this all day.
All the time. I mean, he's like, he makes fun of me because I've got so much written down, like old school. But it's good.
Wait till we go on a road trip together. You'll go.
Yeah. Hey, just going to one music awards deal had me already opening a whole awards organization, association, and foundation. Mm-hmm. So needs to be done. So and that means including everybody. So it was about doing it for everybody, and it's not just me. Let's get that clear. It's not just me. That's for sure.
Let's get to just some music.
I literally just said, let's get to some music, and check this out. I'm looking here at our viewers here coming in live over here that always show up out there. I want to shout out to you on X, the music platform out there. I don't know if anyone else has figured this out, but I got Uncle Ryano to listen to me on it. And man, they are some loyal, great individuals when it comes to the music community. So shout out to you out there.
I love you, Elon.
Well, let's
Doing
say
the heart. I'm
we
doing
love
the heart
all of
thing.
all of our people out there who like to get involved with the music and the community. So both sides of everything that we do. So tonight we have in here Katie Beth Mihm again on Two Step Tribe. Katie Beth, you want to start with You Ain't No Cowgirl?
Yes, ma'am.
Rolling it. It's rolling. I talk even more country every time I say it.
If I got, I just wanted to say this for Elon. If I got a free Tesla, I wouldn't be mad at it. That's all.
I got a free Cybertruck. That'd be cool. We could
Yeah, see?
with it.
See? Yeah. It'd scare those mean ass chickens, but it'd be awesome.
Y'all could keep that conversation going because the numbers going whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
literally.
I seen a girl the other day that's a famous barrel racer. True story that she has a Cybertruck and is pulling a horse trailer with it to all her competitions.
Yeah. I want one of those Teslas, but I want to put mud flaps on it. Oh my God. I would be so nasty sexy if I had that. I'd be like
Can we
mud.
Can we put pork and beans?
That's my safe word. That's private. We're not supposed to tell everybody.
Or
Yeah,
can we put cornbread on the mud flaps? You know?
yeah, cornbred on the mud flaps. Yeah.
The Cybertruck ain't redneck for me. There's got to be a bed to chunk beer cans and Copenhagen cans in.
Well,
Something
but you
for
can
that.
on the front bumper, you can replace the front bumper with a perfectly cut railroad tie, and that would make up the redneck factor on it
I would
just a
put
little bit.
longhorn horns on mine.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
You do whatever
Okay.
you want.
So you know,
That would-
like Boss Hog it.
Yeah. Oh, for real.
Oh.
For real. Yeah.
Hey,
And with it, and get a customized Waffle House license plate.
Oh yeah.
I know what he's talking about now with cornbread because you just said Boss Hog. I know exactly what he's talking about now. So, all right, You Ain't No Cowgirl. This is a new song out by Katie Beth Mihm. Let's check this out. And we have more music for you and another guest coming here on Two Step Tribe. Stand by. You Ain't No Cowgirl live right now on Two Step Tribe by Katie Beth Mihm.
Show up at the rodeo, want everyone to know. Your head teased high, caterpillar eyes, and where you wanna go. Nobody cares for your ugly stares, all the gossip from your mouth. Buckle up them lips and shake them hips and kiss my rough bouts. You ain't no cowgirl if you don't rope or ride. You ain't no cowgirl if you can't two-step all night. You ain't no cowgirl, just a buckle bunny in disguise. You ain't no cowgirl, believe those filter lies. You prance around this one horse town, wanting everyone to know what you drive or what you wear, or the price tag on your clothes. Us old cowgirls will keep our trucks and leave you in the dust. Buckle up them lips and shake them hips, I'll keep living on love. You ain't no cowgirl if you don't rope or ride. You ain't no cowgirl if you can't two-step all night. You ain't no cowgirl, just a buckle bunny in disguise. You ain't no cowgirl, believe those filter lies. Ride, you ain't no cowgirl if you can't two-step all night. You ain't no cowgirl, just a buckle bunny in disguise. You ain't no cowgirl, believe those filter lies. You ain't no cowgirl if you don't rope or ride. You ain't no cowgirl if you can't two-step all night. You ain't no cowgirl,
That's old school.
It's got that Dwight Yoakam vibes to it.
I like that. I lean a little bit more to the Roseanne Cash vibe, like we talked about.
For sure.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted the guitars to give some turnarounds, kind of like some Dwight Yoakam stuff, some faster, good honky tonkin, stuff. Well, she did. I say I did. I didn't. She did.
Yeah. We have a new song that'll be out hopefully before Christmas that's going to sound a lot like a Hank Williams song. And I took all the instruments that they would have had in like the 30s or 40s to cut this song, used them, and we're going to put them in a room with a wood floor where you can hear just everything and make it very dry and raw. And it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait for that one. But Rusty wrote that song. It's called Dance Hall Dreams.
Yeah, I forgot about that. When we laid the scratch, the first thing that popped in my head was Bob Wills.
Yeah.
Right away. I was like, man.
So that's going to be, I like to always do something different for each song, like completely way different. And so it'll be so fun doing that one.
I said cowboy and cowgirl for you. So we're getting several messages. So I'm just telling them, okay, it means both. You ain't no cowgirl and you ain't no cowboy if you can't two-step all night long. And I just talk super country because of your song, Katie Beth, tonight. I'm just like all down into, yep, she's from Nashville. Yep, she's in Texas. Yep, she's talking country. You're bringing it right out of me. I love it. So I also have a couple more songs in here that I definitely want to hear what's going on with this song at number 9 overseas right now. Where is it again? Europe?
All of Europe.
Yeah.
All of Europe. And it's called Here I Go.
Yeah.
And what can you tell me about that song? I'm curious.
So I wrote that song for Rusty, for my husband, last year for our anniversary. The song is about staying married to somebody or staying with somebody because you really, really love them and not replacing them just because you're not, getting your way, or, it's easy when you're married and to walk off, and nowadays I hate that people make people so replaceable anymore or think that they're replaceable, and don't put the
work.
The work in on the relationship and things like that. I'm not saying, stay in a bad relationship if it's really bad, but, we've been married for almost 3 years and, we were merging combined families, and the first year is not easy for you as a couple. And the second year, I feel like it's not easy for the kids necessarily to everybody to adjust completely. But it's just about loving each other and never giving up on each other.
The chickens don't always get along either.
Nope.
Those chickens are in my freezer. The ones that buck the system are my grilled chickens for the grill.
a few saved rounds there on Here I Go. Like you talked about, it's number 9 in Europe. It debuted at 100 on the charts in Texas on its first day out. It is still on the Texas charts.
People love it. It's still going.
It also made it to the American country music charts as well. So it's
it
done great.
Nice.
It's a great song, and it's a sleeper. Everybody chases after tempo. Everybody chases after whatever the hip current sound is. But the hip current sound changes every 8 minutes. And if you're always chasing what's current, you're always just chasing. But if you go back and you do something classic, which is what y'all have done, something that's timeless, and you set it right there, you'll be able to come back in 10 years and that song's just as cool as it was when you first recorded it, because it was honest, it was true, it was classic, and it's a sleeper. It's one of those that you may not fully, and that's just because we all live in a fast moving world. So we've got a lot of stuff bombarding us. And for me, initially, I will say, y'all know that's one of my favorites. And that particular song, though, I think it took about the third pass for me to really let it soak in, where I could get in that right headspace. And that's when it just clicked. And anybody that gives it that kind of shot, they end up sticking with it. That's a go-to. That's just a super chill. It doesn't matter what you're drinking. If it's a pick me up or a settle me down, whatever it is, that's that kind of song is what a fireplace was made for in the wintertime, or a porch in the summertime.
Yeah.
And you just cue it up and just let it roll.
Yeah, I definitely want it to be a classic song that you can just have but I love it because it's for everybody. Most people have been in a relationship, so they can relate to that, at some point. And
for me, that song is like my baby, because like she said, she wrote it for me.
Your baby.
Well, you are. But when it comes to all of our songs, that's
your babies are getting jealous. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting jealous of my own stuff.
It's that because, like she said, she wrote it for me. But the way we wrote that song was just crazy. I was just sitting around messing with the melody on the guitar. Something I was playing with, and she was in the kitchen. She's like, "Oh, I got something for that." I
started singing,
and I was like, "Holy cow!" And
that's how it works.
Kind of toyed with it, and then we left it alone. And then one day we were having rehearsal with the full band. Mm-hmm. No kidding. I started playing that melody, just practicing, warming up. And the band just jumps in with it and jumps right on board, plays in key. Mm-hmm. And then she gets on the mic and spits the whole song. I'm like, holy smokes, let's record that right now. So we got it. And
I really like to do music that way, because then you're not limiting anybody's capabilities of greatness, so they can definitely come in and be unique.
Yeah.
Let's cue it up. Let's roll this puppy.
Let's go. It's called Here I Go. Katie Beth Mihm right now talking about where the song came from. Here it is live on Two Step Tribe.
Is that good?
Call me to rest when the morning comes. You'll please everyone but me. Here I go, walking away. Always conditional. I'll be the last one to know. So here I go, walking away. My heart breaks when you beg me to stay. Here I go, walking away. You might be better off without me at the end of the day. People always give their 2 cents until they walk in your shoes. It won't make any sense if you stay or if you go. Forgiveness only you can show. is your heart. So take a new start. So here I go, walking away. My heart breaks when you beg me to stay. Here I go, walking away. Might be better off without me at the end of the day. Here I go, 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 go. Here I go, 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 go,
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I love that. That it's just like love. I feel it. I feel like it's a great big hug to that you're giving out there to share with everybody. I think it's great. Got a
If they
lot
don't
of
light your fire, your wood's wet.
Again, we've gone to a whole different channel right there. I'm telling you.
Oh Lord, they're gonna be like, "What, Tracy? Did you like what happened to your voice?" You never know. We did so the AMA Music Awards Tribe stand up there. We're having different contests going on that we'll have for that logo. That one was actually done by a kiddo. So for the music awards that will be coming up, I thought of you, Katie Beth. You mentioned the kids, you mentioned family, you mentioned several things. So you also mentioned art. So things that we tend to look at. So we are coming down to different designs that we have for the America's Music Awards. And that is the awards that we will be doing through Tribe, Uncle Ryano, do you want to kind of give a broad definition of that?
Well, people, everyone who's watching us now, they know what Tribe is. And to go back over it through every episode would be redundant. It's one of those things for those who've not tuned in before and those who are just now checking it out. Tribe is a coalition of artists and creatives that span from upstate New York and Maine all the way to Los Angeles, from upstate Washington, Seattle, Washington, all the way to Miami. Heavy metal, EDM, hip hop, reggae, blues, funk, jazz, Texas country, Nashville country, Americana, Appalachia bluegrass. I mean, it's everything that you can imagine. New Orleans blues and jazz, New Orleans jazz, Baton Rouge blues like Henry Turner, all the way up to trap and hip hop like Silent Sounds in Chicago. So we've got it covered. It is American music in all of its glory and power. And that's what Tribe is. And through that coalition of musicians, we've brought in other creatives who may not be musicians, but they may be graphic designers. They may be promoters. They may be publishers. They may be publicists, writers, just every walk of life. And then it begins to grow outside of that to first responders and our veterans. So Tribe is all inclusive. It's everyone who wants to make everything around them better. That's what Tribe is. And we're doing it together. So that's it. When they ask what will Tribe do for me, I tell people probably nothing. If you come in with that question, you probably need to go back out and start over again. If you come in and say, how can I contribute? How can I help? Then hold on to something. Because when you're pouring your heart in and your sweat into something to help those around you, they in turn collectively pour it right back into you. And that's when you watch. You, instead of trying to get to the promised land, where you stand becomes the promised land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely want to make sure that everyone knows out there, you don't have to be a singer or a songwriter. This is about community, and there's multiple lanes, multiple categories that go along with America's Music Awards, and multiple areas that you can get involved in too. So this is also a community effort that will go back to the community with children and others in need. So that is part of the foundation as well. So America's Music Awards, we'll be giving you more information about that, but it's going to come right through Tribe. So that's the good news. And then the kids, the artists out there, like Katie Beth was mentioning, art. We're down to figuring out which we do like. So I'll send you a couple of those, Katie Beth, and see what you think too.
Yeah, sure.
On the AMAs. So
I love design stuff. Obviously, I'm always like designed to some extent.
Well, we've got a ton. This is the last one by Kiddo, but we would do the cutout on it. And I know why they did that torch too, because it's
Katie likes coloring. She likes to color.
I love colors.
Yes.
I also love classic things like white or black, but why be boring?
But we do have the
wherever we go, okay? That is the standard.
It's not in here, but I'll get it to you. But there's the treble clef with the claws. That's right now it's a front runner, but just stay tuned. You can go to the number 2steptribe.com, 2steptribe.com to get our information and anything that we have going on. And of course, you can always find me at Pages Inside the Wire, but 2Step Tribe, the number 2, that website, you can pull that up now and you can find our information there for anything that we're doing. And the foundation will be popping up here too. So it's under construction. We have another artist who's going to be joining us, Katie Beth and Rusty here. Katie Beth Mihm and Rusty Mihm are on tonight. They have their songs. We just did Here I Go and You Ain't No Cowgirl. I love to say it. And then we've still got another one in here. And I think that it would be a good idea to go ahead and pull up that member, the other artist that's coming in, Uncle Ryano. And because it is someone, it's Carson Clay, actually. And you all know him as well, Katie and Rusty. So I believe he just got through recording his first song that is actually Uncle Ryano's song. So the music that we have tonight will be yours. And then if we can get Carson singing, I don't know how his voice is doing, but he's been backstage and he's messaging me and he's ready to get in here. So
we'll have a little tribe porch picking.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So I'll grab Carson Clay for you here. This is Carson Clay here on Two Step Tribe with Katie Beth and Rusty Mihm. Katie Beth and Rusty, you let me know too. This is the kind of show, it's like family. It's like, okay, I need this much more time and then shift. You got it. That's how it works. Welcome to the show. It is Carson Clay. Carson Clay, you are muted there. I'm going to unmute you, hon.
Carson is far away. What'd they do with Carson? They put Carson way back there.
They put baby in the corner.
They put baby in the corner. Yeah.
I like to hang out in the back row and just show up.
I see. That's very Baptist of you, Carson Clay. Yes.
Hi, friend.
Hi. How are y'all?
We're doing good.
Good.
So, Carson, you were backstage there. You got to hear a lot of that was going on. He was communicating with me back and forth about his sound and lighting and your songs and stuff. Carson, I know that you know Katie, Beth, and Rusty too. So
Yes,
how's
ma'am.
it going with you? And what do you think about You Ain't No Cowgirl? Did you hear us? We're all sounding like we're very, very country. And I'm being called cornbread.
Cornbread. Hey, I love me some cornbread. Slap a little butter on there. Oh, yeah. I love that.
Too.
Who doesn't love cornbread? It's
Lots of butter.
No, I really enjoy that song. That's a fun one. It's one that you see. I mean, you can sometimes you get to people watching, and I know Rusty and Katie know exactly what I'm talking about. You get to people watching at some of these places, and you're just like, oh man, hats on backwards, and it's just like, I'm gonna stay out of this one. They'll figure it out. We all have to start somewhere,
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, talking about tribe members, have you guys seen Bubba Wesley whenever he's like in airports and stuff or at venues and he does videos of people wearing backwards cowboy hats and he goes and talks to him and stuff? It's fantastic.
I'm going to take those videos. I'm going to get them and I'm going to tag You Ain't No Cowgirl too.
Yeah.
Bubba is all over it. The bathroom videos make me nervous. I don't ever know how that's going to go. Yeah. Yeah, but and I'm Bubba, you scare me, son. You scare me. But
We love
but
Bubba. He's awesome.
yes, we love us
Yeah.
some Bubba Wesley. But that bit about the hats, though, man, it's tragic. It's like nobody they go through all the trouble of going to buy one, but they never realize it has a front and a back to it.
They didn't read the directions.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know if I'm not paying attention because I have not seen someone. I'm going to start watching a lot closer. I try to like stay in my lane, but I have not seen anyone yet that I've been in front of that's had one on backwards. But
It
I-
happens
Oh,
all
I
the
have.
time at shows all the
Oh,
time.
So it's a twofold deal, though, right? Like Carson was talking about. We look and we're just like, I ain't gonna mess with that one.
Because you're
today."
like, do you say something? Do you not say something?
But
You know?
also
I
at the
would.
same point, these people, you got to look. There's a movement in America right now, and Taylor Sheridan's the one that put the motion in that. When he did Yellowstone, everybody wants to be a cowboy. So
well,
there's
there's
the
a cycle.
preservation of the Western culture going on, which is great. However, we got some teaching to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to. I don't like to make fun of. I will tell you. Um, I grew up on a ranch myself. And so it's one of those things that not everybody did. And whenever someone is honoring the culture you grew up with, then it is your responsibility to show them how to do it properly so they can be proud and not be embarrassed.
Yeah.
And so I will tell you, when Cowboy Up got picked up by the Boston Red Sox,
Mhm.
I didn't know how big of a deal it was. And they flew me to Boston, me and my wife. And you've heard me tell the story about the skyscrapers having the office lights on, spelling Cowboy Up down the side of all the buildings in Boston. That was such a huge honor. I mean, it's like it made me cry. Okay, just to be touched like that, and especially with what we were going through with our family and my mother's sickness and everything that she was battling. But she got to see that. They flew her up there and she got to see that. So
That's
that
awesome.
that is those people. Okay, so we got to look at that now they got so excited because it's a cycle. Every so many years the tree gets too tall and it falls over because it can only get so far from the ground, and the tree will always fall over. All new growth will always come from the roots. That's the way it is with music. That's the way it is with going back to our Western culture. It's always been this way, guys. I'm old enough to remember many falls and springs and summers and winters. So we're in a new phase of it, but it happened with Urban Cowboy. Then it happened with the Garth Brooks and George Strait era. Okay, so this for me is my third round of it. So basically, seeing all this, when I went up there, those folks in Boston, you can't imagine there's just too damn many Western wear stores in Boston, right? And they raided the few that were there and just emptied them out. Those people had windfall profits when Cowboy Up caught on up there. It was Cowboy Up on everything. Everybody that could find one had a cowboy hat, and those who couldn't had one of those big Huckleberry fan hats that had like the big straw just sticking out. To them, it was just as good as the other one. And when I went there, I would see exactly what Bubba was battling. I would see people got it on backwards. And my approach to that was, hey, buddy. And they'll turn around and look at me, and I'll tell them, man, that's some badass looking headgear you got there. And they'll start grinning real big because it's their very first cowboy hat. I say, come here for a minute. Let me fix you. And they come over there, and then I flip it around. I show them this is where you catch the rain and let the rain run off. And this is the side that protects your shoulders and the back of your neck. So I do it like that, and I'd show them, and they'd have the epiphany. You'd see light bulb go off, and then there'd be 10 or 12 of them around there that they didn't ever put that together, but they're going to go check now, you know. And so that's a way to make them feel good about adopting our culture. They feel good about it, and they keep promoting where we're from and celebrating where we're from, because inevitably it's where they're from too.
Yeah.
So I love that y'all brought that up, because and Bubba, he's not mean about it. For those who hadn't seen it, Bubba's a sweetheart. He's good people. Yeah.
Bubba's from the radio world, everybody. He started in radio, and now he's a musician out there doing his thing. So shout out to Bubba Wesley. And I'm over there chatting on another channel too, by the way. So every time y'all are in the middle of something, I'm shouting out. So Missy, We've got Broken Road, Howard County, all sorts of people saying hi over there. So everybody else can see if you go over to Two Step Tribe on YouTube or you go over to Facebook. There's Two Step Tribe podcast as well. So, but we are checking in with you, and they are all saying hello to every one of you on here. So I grabbed my hat, Katie Beth, because it actually happened to me. This hat looks like yours, but you were talking about going over near where Lainey Wilson's place and all that was. I didn't go there, but I grew up there, so I kind of stay away from the commercial areas. But the Printer's Alley and the infamous alley, I'll go there. And then with my aunt, we went into one of the stores downtown. And this hat, I've worn it a few times, and I actually wore it when we were all somewhere. And I have had multiple people come up to me and say, "You're wearing that backwards." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, I never even thought about it until y'all said something. And these are people who should know better. But it's just the design of the hat, right? So if you even look in a hat, everybody, if you really have to look in a hat, you can. The hat will tell you which way it's supposed to go. Literally.
So the little bow inside goes to the back, and then like you've got the bow. If you got a bow, a buckle, a tassel, whatever, it goes on the left.
Yeah, you got in Louisiana, they got a stamp on one end of it in Louisiana says forehead. And then there's gonna be a stamp on the back that says not the forehead. Yeah.
I like that. That was good advice, though, Carson. Yes. So my feather, and so is Katie Beth. Katie Beth, you've got yours on the left there too. So
this is actually a Charlie horse hat, but it's actually a Lainey Wilson edition, but it's got holes punched in it, like little stars and hearts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
We're all looking at hats, everybody. So you have to come see us to understand what we're doing over here. Now everybody's taking off their hat.
Yeah.
I'm not going
You
to.
mad make me? I got so damn many fedoras. I had about 30
You don't even know what
something.
you're wearing.
Yeah, I ended up giving a bunch of them away to some folks that always were like, "Man, those hats are so cool." And some folks that they didn't have access to a bunch of stuff just ended up with about 12 badass custom fedoras from a photo shoot. So they're killing it down there in Florida. But yeah, I rock me to Peter Grimm.
Well, I wanted to steal one of those fedoras, but I didn't.
Gotta be fast to steal from the old man. Gotta be quick.
You probably would have let me have it. You're so nice. Hey, that Jimmy, thank you for that. Yes, it is. It is the number 2steptribe.com. Yes, that is the website you can go to. It is up, right?
I wanna ask Carson. Carson, you just experienced something for the very first time in your whole little life. Tell us what you just experienced.
We talking about the studio?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that was a blast. That's the best part about Tribe is it puts so many good people together. And like down there at Springboard, ran into Kyle and Leaf with Steel Records and got hooked up with them. And then that was, oh gosh, about 2 or 3 Sundays ago now. We went out there to Grand Cane, Louisiana. And man, first off, you got to go look at like the pictures of this place if you haven't seen it before, because the vibes that they've got are just phenomenal. You walk in, he was telling me it was like an old restaurant that I guess they used to hang out in when they were younger, and then they bought it and turned it into the studio. But just the vibe that they've got going, the process, the knowledge. I mean, it's just a wow factor. Like you said, it's a first time. So like now I've kind of got my standard, and I know what I'm gonna be looking for anytime I have to go somewhere else, which hopefully I'd like to get back over there and cut some more stuff with them, because that was just such a good time and such a blast. But man, they're great guys. It's a great place. I'm excited to hear what they send back, because just the work tape that they sent and I got to listen to do the vocal track over was phenomenal. I was like, yeah, this is exciting. There's some cool stuff happening.
This was the first beta test. So whenever I put heavenly bodies in line with each other to collide and start working together and wrapping around each other, we got to see how everything interacts and works, right? So A lot of times I won't be around that much. I'll pop in, pop out. That's what I did with Celeste with yours because we had to reschedule when you came in. I wasn't able to be there. But Kyle and I had gone over everything before you had come in. So, and he's so talented. He knew 100% of how to approach it. And so does Leaf. Leaf is very talented as well. So we're creating something for you guys, and we're going to have that set up so that Tribe has an HQ that they can come to. Because, you know, like Katie, Beth, and Rusty just drove to Nashville, and I love Nashville. Me and Nashville have a deep history together. But they now have people from Nashville coming down to Steel Records. So if you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's a studio by studio, engineer by engineer, producer by producer. It's case by case basis. And so what we have for you guys is we're creating something so you don't have to make that 660-mile drive. You know, we're setting it up so that you can come right over there, stay at a nice Airbnb that's very inexpensive, and have you some good jambalaya and make some wicked tracks and head home, baby. You know, that's kind of what we're trying to set up. There's never taken Nashville out of the loop because we have connections there. There are Tribe connections up there. But we also have places in Chicago. We also have places in Atlanta. And we've got them in Houston. So basically, but for right now, we're setting everything up to come to Steel Records. And I'm so glad that you had the experience. Was there anything that you experienced that was different than what I told you it would be?
No, it was fantastic. You were on the money with that one.
And the cool thing about the way that it's set up and the way that we worked it is it's so many places. It takes all this extra time that you're unable to come in and actually really hone in vocals, especially when you're early in your career and you're still learning how to work the mic. With Tribe, it's a different setup. So we had that additional time to get you the product that was going to be something that would take you to the next level. And so that also is unique compared to what you'll get at other studios. Everybody will call you a rock star. They'll tell you they love you. They'll make you feel like they're giving you some extra something or other, but then shoo you out the door, and whatever you get is what you get, and you don't throw a fit. You know, right. but here with this culture, we're trying to spend the time to hone in and really create something that's taking your career, your brand, your name to another level.
Right. That was one thing that I really appreciated from them is like, so obviously heard the demo when you sent it to me a while back, and you remember how that went. From the moment I heard it, I loved that song and had practiced and had been playing it acoustic kind of the way that the demo went. And then they sent over the work tape and kind of said, here's what we've done to, you know, modernize and make it what kind of start to flesh it out. And I got to listen to that and kind of practice and listen and say, okay, you know, here's what I like and don't like. And then when I'm in the studio, sold them, you know, hey, this is what I loved about part of the demo. And, you know, this is some of the stuff I've been doing acoustic that I really enjoy. And they sat down and listened and locked it in. And it wasn't just like oh, okay, maybe we'll consider it. It was like no, okay, this is what you like, you know, we'll consult on everything. I really appreciated that. It wasn't just like kind of like you said, like, here's your finished product and take it. It's okay, you know, what do you want out of it? What are you looking for? What do you like? Here's what we're thinking. Hey, let's try this on this vocal take. It was a process to create the best possible product for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciated that out of them.
We don't have the rough mix yet where we can show it off, but you got your guitar handy?
I see it. I can spot a guitar in the show every time. I'm like, don't show up to the show with the guitar that I can see, or I'll definitely call it out. And so we've got Carson Clay here. Real quick, Uncle Ryano. So shout out to Reed Benton. Reed Benton has a very, very, very personal message here that I want to make sure to say that I see it and thank you. And I said I'd make sure to get it to you. So, Reed, I'll definitely do that. Thanks to you, hon. I see you.
That's my head of security when I'm down in Florida.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's got a really, really nice message. It's very, I'll get
Go
to it.
Army.
Oh, well, there you go. Huh. That's what it is. Rusty gets it. Mine probably wasn't as good.
Hoorah.
Yeah, I knew he said he
My
say
man.
simplify or something. Yeah, but yeah. Well, Carson. So Carson Clay, you're on here. You've just gotten out of the studio. Yeah, they love There's Kylie there. Hi, Kylie. So Carson, you just got out of the studio there with Still Records there with Leaf Shively and the infamous missing Kyle. Kyle is always missing. And now we got several over here going, you're cheating on me, Unc, because we've got like 4 or 5 people now going, but Unc's great to me. So Mike, we love you all over here. Literally. So Carson, we still have Katie, Beth, and Rusty Mihm over here. You know, they've just got back from Nashville and have recorded multiple songs. Now you're talking about being in there. He's talking about this, Katie, Beth, like being in there doing his first song. And I'm sure you're thinking, man, like
I remember my first time in the studio. I was kind of nervous.
Really? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Carson, I mean, we've spent, time with Carson, like, off, the side. And I really, really love his lyrics that he writes and comes up with that he shared with us. I really appreciate his melodies that he comes up with, and he's a brilliant writer. And I am excited because I feel like we're watching Carson go from the starter spot to like becoming a huge thing. And so I love that we get to be a part of that with Tribe, and we're so proud of him. Like he's one of our kids or something, and we're just like, oh, have you seen what Carson did today? Like he's doing so good, so just know we're cheering you from the side, man. But I'm proud of you for being in the studio. And I know it's not always the easiest going in because you really don't know what to expect.
No, you don't.
When I was in Nashville, it was not I'd been in the studio several times, and it was a whole new experience for me in Nashville. And I wasn't really ready, I guess, for some of the stuff that I felt like I kind of got put through the ringer, but like in a good way. And so every time you go to the studio, they're going to push you harder and harder, and you're going to have greater things expected of you as a musician. And you're just going to surprise the heck out of yourself what they can get from you and pull from you. And
the next time I'm going to be there in the room when he's tracking. So this was the first time, and everything was laid out and we had a perfect plan. But the next one, and I got big plans for all of y'all. So this is, you just got to trust in the plan.
And you forget to push you the next level with Fireflies, right?
Yeah.
So we have a mix on that now, Unc. After I talked to you, I received something. So
something I got, something I didn't get in trouble in Nashville, but just because my accent is so thick.
Feedlot.
When I was, there it is right there. You know what? I want t-shirts made now for a band that say I speak feed yard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Feed yard?
I kind of got a little bit, talking to like, Katie Beth, you're not accentuating your words. And he's like, when you're on the mic, you're going on the mic, and you're not like
to do that.
You're not stopping and breathing and stuff. And so I learned some new things. And they weren't saying that to be ugly, but they were just that, or like he'd have me go through different lines, my producer, and go, okay, well, how do you feel with that line? What's the emotion in that? So I never really thought about that, I guess, before. And
he was intense. So like, nah, you're not feeling that. I'm going to feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it,
They were so intense. They'd be like, I don't believe you. Do it again. Nope. Still don't believe you. Do it again. So I was more aware of my voice, stopping and starting and control, and how I was pronouncing things, because sometimes we pronounce stuff, but it doesn't come across that way on the mic the same. And so sometimes I don't know exactly what the word is for it, like the correct term, but like one time I was doing a song and I had to sing the word black, but I had to actually sing the word back on the record so that it came out black on the record, if that makes sense.
Because you speak
The
Fiji.
enunciation.
It's called diction, and
Yeah,
you
there
can't
you go.
you can't have your notes and all your percussive notes be precise, and then your syllables be all over the place. You know, you've got to clearly enunciate your lyric, because if people are trying to decipher what it is that fell out your mouth, they're going to miss what's coming out currently, still thinking about what's already come and gone. And they'll have to sit there, and maybe that's a trick to get people to listen to the same song 15 times. But at some point, people's attention span goes away, and nobody really wants to go on an Easter egg hunt trying to figure out what it was that you said, or have to Google the lyrics. So, that's an important thing.
It is. Do you guys
where-
remember Celine Dion? You remember a long time ago, she had that song, The Heart Does Go On, right?
Mhm.
How many of us, I know I did, but I was also a kid, but that's kind of the prime example. For years, I thought she was singing The Hot Dogs Go On forever.
They do.
She was
Yeah,
singing
they
The
do.
Heart Does Go On, but I thought she was saying hot dogs forever. So
I didn't.
That's a
actually
West
know that one.
Texas thing.
Feed yard. Feed yard.
He says feed yard. You might like get you a shirt for real, like hashtag feed yard, and make some.
Yeah.
I need to wear it to my concerts that says I speak feed yard on it. And I
Yeah.
think people would love it.
I would turn it into merch.
Yeah.
Straight off the feedlot.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just looking at, hey, that's a good way to turn something into a
Embrace your
Selling
quirks,
item.
whatever it is that you have.
embrace it. Hey, I know that, my words, it just depends on my mood actually. So I can enunciate very well, and I can sit in a room and talk about as country as it gets. Just depends. Carson, we touched briefly. So you went in the studio. So I can only imagine, because we have had Leaf Shively on here. Kyle's always missing. We gotta hunt down old Kyle. But I hear he's a big old guy too. So here you are at Steel Records over there recording a song. And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually a song. Uncle Ryano, is this your song, or was this an Abel Kane song? What is this?
It was an old one that I written and recorded about 30 years ago, something like that. It's one from that old early catalog, and it was really strong. It always was, and so much of my catalog was with Warner, was with Paramount, was with Sony BMG, and different companies were going around gobbling up my old music when I retired. So it took me a while to track a lot of it down. And since, even compounded it, Universal's been going around gobbling up all those catalogs. So my stuff is all starting to end up collected at Universal. So it's between 2,400 and 3,000 songs, somewhere in there. So I've been going through and sifting through these old songs, which are loaded with diamonds. And there was one in particular that jumped out, and it jumped out. It made itself known to pitch to Carson, and then Carson connected with it. So it's not just one side or another. When you spend some time around people and certain songs will speak to you, they just kind of magically bubble to the top. And those are the ones like Fireflies for Katie, Beth, and Rusty. That's another one that's a diamond. And so those, we brought those up, and it was an instant fit. They made the song better. The song will have the opportunity to help them level up. It does both, And so I would love for Carson to play it so everyone could hear his voice on that guitar, laying it down.
Yeah, this was a cool one. I'm funny enough, it's the first song that Unc sent to me, and first listen right off the bat, I was like, I love this. I love it. The demo, it's fantastic. It sounds like it's straight off of 90s country radio, and I'm a big fan of that era and that sound. And just from the moment I heard it, I was like, oh, I love this. And I think I spent the rest of the day just sitting, listening to it, trying to figure out, okay, what are we playing here? That intro,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So it's I'm really glad and I'm really thankful, Hunk, that you let me be the one to go do that, and that I got to work with such great guys like Kyle and Leaf. And it's kind of funny, Katie, you were making the comment about like the pronunciation and the diction and all that. I think we did each verse and each chorus like 10 different times. And then I'd hear Kyle come back over the top back, and he's like, all right, give me a little more of like an E sound right here, or like do this right here. And, you know, and then of course they have the ability to take everything and comp them together. So you get the best part of each take and
Yeah.
you know, okay, I like this line from this verse and this line from this chorus and put it all together. And that's the cool part about work with
Y'all
people.
know it is singing, but what you don't know is the finished product. See, we see the destination before we ever crank the truck and decide to pull out the driveway. And so once you know exactly what the destination is, that's when collectively, you know, we start the process of trying to get from here to there. And so that's where, you know, as you're learning, and Katie, you're going to always be in a perpetual state of learning. You know, you're always going to be around different musicians, different players, different producers. You know, it's even if the same producer, you'll have different songs. So as you're continuing to push the envelope, that's what makes it magic. It's constantly stretching and bending yourself and adding to your brand. You're adding to the depth of what makes your music unique. And this song was written for Carson before he was born.
Literally.
Destiny.
Yeah, we can give this a shot.
Let's give them the name of the song. Let's give them the title. Are we keeping the same title?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Same title. Till I open my eyes. And that was the other part. It's just it's such a strong hook. Because I saw Till I Open My Eyes and I was like, okay, I like this line. But then hearing the whole hook, I was like, oh, that's it. That's smart. But yeah, let's hope the audio is agreeable. Here in the dark, I slowly catch my breath. The silence is cut by the thunder of my heart inside my chest. How can this be real? Feels more like a dream. I'm so amazed at how a woman like you really love a man like me. In the middle of the night, I can feel you lying close to me. And through the window, moonlight wraps you in a silver ring. Girl, I can't stay awake forever, but every night I try, 'cause I don't start dreaming till I open my eyes. It's 2 a.m. I'm holding up pretty good. I'd spend the rest of my life just like this if I only could. And if I don't wake up, oh, wherever I'll be, no matter where, it still won't compare to the last thing that I see. In the middle of the night, I can feel you lying close to me. Through the window, moonlight wraps you in a silver ring. Girl, I can't stay awake forever, but every night I try, 'cause 'cause I don't start dreaming till I open my eyes. In the middle of the night, I can feel you lying close to me. The window moonlight wraps you in a silver ring. Girl, I can't stay awake forever, but every night I try, 'cause I don't start dreaming. No, I don't start dreaming. No, I don't start dreaming till I open my eyes.
How was that, Carson? You did great.
That was amazing, Carson.
Yeah.
I just hope the audio came through okay.
It did. It really did. Yeah, it really did. And it is. It's like that old 90s country vibe song. That's what it reminds me of, too. Like an old Brooks and Dunn is kind of, I don't know. It's interesting watching Uncle Ryano up there, like, smiling like a proud dad. And then Carson's over here singing the song. And so I switched it from, it was, Carson Clay comes on doing an Uncle Ryano song. And now it says, Carson Clay song, Till I Open My Eyes, new recording with Two Step Tribe. So now it has your name applied to the song, Carson, Till I Open My Eyes, recording on Two Step Tribe with Carson Clay.
It's a blessing. I've got to, and I'll tell Unc thank you every time. Every time when I get it back, it's the first one he sent, and it's been the one that has just stuck ever since. I'm a huge fan. I love that song, and so it's a major blessing to be able to be the guy that can go take it and get to record it now. Yeah, it's a blessing.
We're wrapping you in, or wait till you hear the finished product. We're wrapping you in a rocket ship.
Oh, I'm excited. I know Kyle's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on. They're working on like 60 plus songs right now, which is awesome for them because they deserve all that business and all that momentum, man. But yeah, just your song and your input, me getting to be the one to sing it, them and their ability in the studio, and they've got the steel and the fiddle and can bring in all those elements that you used to hear, on 90s radio and all the stuff that I love. Big fan of steel and fiddle and even, some resonator guitar and stuff in there, like just real cool. And I think they were putting some like keys stuff on it, some real kind of light keys, and it's going to be so cool, man.
You also have some of the best of the roots instruments. You've got some of the best in Nashville that are at the ready right now. The minute that we get the bones finished, where we've got the chassis together so we can start putting the hot rod paint, the spinning rims on it, that's when we'll fly the session up to Nashville. I've got people who are members of the Grand Ole Opry that'll be playing on this, and they'll be stepping over and jumping on it. Folks that play dobro, banjo, mandolin, fiddle. I've got tons of fiddle players, but my go-to, y'all met when I played Fort Worth that one time. Yes, and I brought my girl down, my fiddle crusher herself. She's a mando and fiddle beast. And so, yeah, she'll be all over this. And then, of course, the great legendary Wanda Vick from the Grand Ole Opry. Wanda's on speed dial always. We also have Brian Austin up in Nashville, who is, Delta blues, but he's a country guy through and through on the Telecaster, taking it to the house. So we're really deep on some phenomenal players that are just waiting. We're waiting so that we've got all the finished frame built, and then they'll come swooping in and putting the color, whatever the pieces are that we don't finalize there at Steel Records. We'll come in and complement and finish it out. And then once everybody signs off, we'll be off to the background vocals, the harmonies, and the mix and master.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as fast as you want it to. I can tell you that just from being a songwriter, and I'm going to stick in the songwriting lane instead of singing. But I think you did excellent, Carson. I love that you've got the voice for that 90s country. You did really well. So the audio was really good. But you've got that 90s country voice. So I think it's great. And you were you saying Keith Whitley? Like who is it to you that if you were going to play a cover song, what is your go-to that you grab your guitar for?
Oh God. So yeah, I do listen to a lot of Keith Whitley, and I do love Keith Whitley, but my go-to cover these days has actually been the Dan Seal song, the Everything That Glitters. That's been my go-to cover song.
That's my favorite song you sing.
You want to sing it, Carson?
That one sold me on Carson.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that song.
You were all sold on the car. Is bought and paid for with Carson Clay for this song.
I wasn't as old as. How old are you now, Carson?
25.
Yeah, see, I was 19, and it was my second opening act gig that we got to open for a big one. And that was the Forrester sisters, Holly Dunn, and Dan Seals. And we opened for them at SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas. And that was the first time I ever got to see him do that song live, and he blew my mind. So when I tell you that when I heard you do this song and it blew my mind for me personally, I backed up and I started listening. And that was a testament to what you've got still locked inside you. We haven't gotten it all out yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, this is a kind of like you. It's kind of like when you were at T3R, y'all were back in March, getting to hear Michael Martin Murphey do Wildfire for the first time live, and that's one of those things I'm gonna keep with me because that'll probably be the only time I get a chance to see that. It's one of those kind of moments like you're talking about, Uncle, where you're just like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can really say about it is wow. And man, I wish I could have seen this live, but I guess I'll just do the next best thing and cover it. Saw your picture on a poster at a cafe out in Phoenix. Guess you're still the sweetheart of the rodeo. As for me and little Casey, we still make the circuit in a one-horse trailer and a mobile home. She still asks about you all the time. And I guess we never even crossed your mind. But oh, sometimes I think about you, the way you used to ride out in your rhinestones and your sequins, with the sunlight on your hair, and oh, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Old Reddy's getting older, and last Saturday he stumbled, but you know I just can't bear to let him go. Little Casey, she's still growing, And she started asking questions. And there's certain things a man just doesn't know. Her birthday came and you never even called. Well, I guess that we don't cross your mind at all. But then sometimes I think about you, the way you used to ride out in your rhinestones and your sequins, with the sunlight on your hair, and oh, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Everybody said you'd make it big someday, and I guess that we were only in your way. But one day you're gonna know the cost, 'cause for everything you win, there's something lost. But oh, sometimes I think about you, the way you used to ride out in your rhinestones and your sequins, sunlight on your hair, and oh, the crowd will always love you. As for me, I've come to know everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that glitters is not gold.
Awesome. You spiked the numbers up there, Carson. You did great. You did really well. That's not an easy song to pick and play. I've got to show this message. You'll know who this is from. So you get 2 hearts. You get 2. So Carson, I have a question for you. So
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you playing this Sunday at Dan Electro's with Celeste?
Yes, ma'am. With
You are?
Celeste.
Okay. Well, tell me about that. So you're playing this Sunday with Celeste Wilson, and it's Dan Electro's. Where is that?
That is in it's in Houston. It's in the Heights, I believe. Celeste reached out a while back asking if I'd be willing to jump in. I said absolutely. That's actually a place that I've played years and years ago, and it was a real good time. And Celeste is just such a talented musician as well. And she said, you know, you want to be a part of this? And I said, absolutely. Good musician, good location. For some of y'all that know, I grew up outside of Houston, so that's kind of home territory. So yeah, that'll be this Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep. So you're this Sunday at Dan Electro's, and then we got Katie Beth Mihm, who is this June 28th, which is Friday, at say the name again for me so that we don't go back down that road.
It's Saturday.
Saturday
At Medeli's.
Okay. So you
Conroe.
heard Rusty.
Friday night, I'm staying at Celeste's house.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
I mixed
all
it
right.
all together.
That's how Tribe does. We on the couch. We laying in the guest room. We sleeping on the floor. Somebody stretched out on the baby grand piano. Yeah.
We got to hit radio stations Friday on the way to Conroe, so that's how we ended up doing that. And then Saturday,
Yeah, there's actually a radio station right there in Conroe. Y'all should hit too, actually.
Well,
so.
okay, so I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. He doesn't want to play our music, so we haven't been in touch with him. We're actually going to Enos to go to Heartland of Texas, which is dang it, I'm drawing a blank. Jim Nash. It's Nash's new radio station.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but I know what station you're talking about in Conroe, but we've sent them.
I don't know them well, so I can't say.
No,
I can't say anything.
We got friends at those stations.
But
So
yeah.
don't
All right.
nobody call me. I can't tell them, Carson. If don't nobody call me, I can't do nothing.
You just never know. So my suggestion though for Rusty and Katie is exactly what I was saying, which was Honor Cafe, Chris, right there. Even the sheriff right there that just got in, like talk about you couldn't find another community that I wouldn't go to. That's one of the top ones in Texas for ones that support our community, like where we come from. So, and when I say that, everybody, it's in the veteran community, first responder, that community. Talk about a community that that little area right there, Conroe, is very, 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 very grateful and giving to their community of those who serve and protect us and take care of us all. So I would definitely touch base with Chris over at Honor Cafe. He knows everybody in the town, so he's
And we also have good friends at Texas Radio 1, guys. So that's where, you know, we got some good pals over there. So they're good people. They're big fans of the indie artists. So all we got to do is just collectively reach out and let them know that we're coming through, and we would love to have them be part of what we're doing and invite them to come and participate. A live remote would be great to have. You know, when y'all are going to perform, the venue loves it. The radio stations love it. Just saying, did nobody call you uncle? So
that's where two-step
Give him a
drive
call.
comes in.
I'll get on that tomorrow. Y'all running me like a rented mule, but I'm gonna get on that tomorrow. Hey,
well, that's where two-step tribe came in. Right there this is what was happening to us. We were like, okay, hold on, let's get everybody connected into a circle. And so, like, by us knowing and having your flyer like that, it would be, hey, Jimmy, need to holler at you real quick, right? I know what you're thinking. We just pick up a phone and be like, hey, okay.
Yeah. You get the voicemail going, hey, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do that. Hey.
Speaking of before we run out of time, I want to squeeze one more out of Carson, and I want to get one more track out of Katie. We got stuff to play for Katie. We got one more track, I believe, don't we, Katie?
Yes, sir.
Let's spin that puppy up. What do we got? Tell us what we got.
I believe it's Neon Moon.
You do.
Well, damn. Okay.
Hey, I did play in this. I played my dulcimer. We put some Spanish guitar in it, and it's so lovely and romantic. I hope everybody plays it on their, when they're out on the lake boating and things like that. It'd be great.
Like it. Love it. All right. Neon Moon. Beth Mihm is here. Beth and Rusty Mihm right now. And it is Saturday in Conroe that they are playing. They have an app. So it is Katie. It's Katie Beth. BETH.my app. Literally, you can go to their app and you can get notifications and information. They are easy to find also on Instagram. If you go check that out, go ahead, Katie.
If they subscribe on it, how do they do that?
They have to go to the contact section and subscribe.
If they do that, they'll be entered in to win a free merch bundle.
Yes.
Ooh. Nice. There you go. So you go. They've got their app going, and that's KatieBeth.my app. And you can go there, and they've got a bundle. Go sign up there on that app, and you'll start getting the notifications. Right now, don't forget that they are going to be in Conroe on Saturday playing. And so you can check that out right now, and you can go check out Instagram. I know that they keep everything up to date there. Carson Clay, you'll be playing on Sunday with Celeste Wilson. So everyone can, I found you very easy. You're easy to find as well on Instagram. It's Carson Clay Music, and so is Celeste. So Celeste keeps that all done there. This is Neon Moon that Katie Beth has brought to us, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. I love it. Did a great job here. It's Katie Beth, Stand By, and Carson Clay too with Two Step Tribe. Here is Neon Moon.
Goes down on my side of town, that lonesome feeling to my door and the whole world turns blue. There's a rundown bar across the railroad tracks. I got a table for two way in the back. I sit alone, thinking losing you. I spend most every night beneath the light of a neon moon. Now if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Think of two young lovers running wild and free. I close my eyes and sometimes see you in the shadows of the smoke-filled room. No telling how many tears I sit here and cry, or how many lies that I lie to my poor heart. You'll come back someday. Oh, it'll be alright as long as there's light from a neon moon. Oh, if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Jukebox plays on, drink by drink. The words of every sad song seem to say what I think and hurt inside me. Ain't never gonna end. Oh, it'll be alright as long as there's light from a neon moon. Oh, if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Oh, watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon.
I love it. I could hear the Spanish influence in the guitars like you were talking about. I loved that. It was good. I love
I
it.
got to play my dulcimer in that, so I was way excited.
Yeah,
I
I
wanted to
love
give
that.
that song beach vibes from
Yeah.
the summer, or lake vibes, right?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. And you've already got,
Thank
you did a great job with the song.
Thank you.
And of course, Miss Kimberly here. They love it. Katie Beth, great job. We love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Carson, I'm sure you do too. I was over there like,
Just
I love that
jamming
song.
out.
Yeah. I was like, just like lake song, like
Yeah.
that vibe, summer vibe is what it was reminding me of for sure.
Yeah. It turned out very romantic and I love it. It was fun to
You
do.
did a great job. You sure did. And as Uncle Ryano just said, he was going to grab Carson again to do a song. But while we're letting Carson grab himself a drink of water and decide what he wants to do, Katie Beth, I have the little clip that you sent in that I was able to get to play to just give a brief, like, here's Katie Beth. and check her out real quick while Carson's grabbing his guitar that I'll play really quick to check this out for Katie Beth right here.
I spend most every night beneath the light of a neon moon. Now if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. To watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon.
Yes,
That
Y'all
guy
see that guy
reminds.
dancing? It looks like Uncle
It looks like
Ryano.
Uncle Ryano.
He got the
Uncle Ryano, are you
fedora.
dipping people somewhere on
There's
that
more
floor?
and more good-looking people popping up all over the place out there. Is all I know.
He's
We
setting
just
the trend.
yeah, I got water on us and it just started breeding. Yeah, that's what happened. We just started popping little baby rhinos off everywhere. Mhm.
Like
Uh-oh.
gremlins.
Uh-oh.
It's not the first time I was accused of that. All these babies are born bald and beautiful. I keep getting a bad rap. I don't know. Yeah. Mm.
So that little clip was filmed at a place that's local to us called the Western Horseman.
It's
And
so
it was
cool.
recently, years ago, it was a place, but it was a little bit rough. And somebody bought it and fixed it up and made it a really good place. And that's somewhere we want to get Carson in. I think he'd do great there.
It's kind of almost got like it's almost like a really fancy Western ballroom type
Yeah.
thing. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. I like it.
Yeah.
And then
Do it.
because when you ran it through your CapCut like that, you can get it into an MP4, like into a station. So,
Yeah.
all right, Carson, we got Carson Clay. He's live holding his guitar for everybody that's tuning in and listening right here out there on the waves, the airwaves on the station's radio network, playing us on Two Step Drive with Uncle Ryano and myself. With Carson Clay live holding his guitar. You're going to have to go look at Two Step Tribe, the dang YouTube channel, so you can actually see this and envision it. Right now, you're going to listen to actually Carson Clay's grabbing his, taking a sip of water or something first, and then holding that guitar and going to play us something. Carson, what are you going to play?
This is an original I finished, I think back in April. With some friends. I've kind of had this idea and a couple lines for a while and threw it at a friend or two, and they helped pull this whole thing together. It didn't really have any. Sometimes you just have an idea and it comes from nowhere. It's just an idea and it all falls together. So there's no total, like, this is the story to it. It was just kind of an idea that all fell together. Had some good friends help me kind of put all the pieces there. And I don't think Unc has heard this one, so I'm glad that he gets to hear it, because to me, everything that I write is always still open to be edited or worked on. Because that's one thing that I really would like to work on is my writing chops. And it's like a muscle. Everybody says that. It just takes the time and it takes doing it. So anytime I get a chance for people that really can write and write stuff that I look up to, they get to hear it. I like getting them to hear it so that I can kind of take their critiques and criticisms and grow from there. But this is a song called Window Shopping. Well, I don't know what brought you to this bar, but I won't lie that you look good on his arm. But don't think I don't see you staring across this room. And I guess you caught me looking too. I spend all my time window shopping, and I can see you got a tag that says seem to notice what a girl like you is worth, well, then I'll be right here to treat you like your gold. I shouldn't feel this way. Looks like you're doing fine. But the way you're drinking could fool me otherwise. Not saying there's a problem, but I'm good at cutting in. If he can live with me, taking your hand, I spend all my time window shopping, and I can see you got a tag that. But if he doesn't seem to notice what a girl like you is worth, well, then I'll be right here to treat you like your gold. Should I just get up the courage? Should I just let go? Your eyes tell me all I need to know. I spend all my time window shopping, and I can see you got a tag that says so. But if he doesn't seem to notice what a girl like you is worth, well, then I'll be right here to treat you like your gold. Then I'll be right here to treat you like your gold.
The number one comment that's coming in on the other channels, literally, I had to put it in here while you were playing it, Carson and Uncle Ryano. You were so tuned in over there. Katie Beth, I know you saw it. The number one thing they were putting over there was sang. Carson sang it. They're like, sang it. I doubt they even heard us in the beginning of the show talking about how we talk so country, but they were like, sang it. And I was like, okay. So yes, you did a great job there, Carson. I love that song with your voice in window shopping. I was like, that is a great song. I love it. What do y'all think?
Awesome.
I think it's great. I do. I really like it.
Sang it.
You said right now that you had wrote that, but you're still working on it.
It's done. I mean, I'm always open to getting feedback and messing and playing with things. I've got a few songs that are done that I wouldn't mind rewriting some stuff here and there.
It was
that one's been written.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to rewrite on that one.
Yeah.
But there's a way that it needs to move.
Yeah.
And you and I can huddle up on the phone. I'll walk you through this because you've done everything. You've done all the work to it. Now, there's a couple of very slight movements that need to be done so that all your work matters.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's visit and we'll discuss it. I'll make some more. I'll be because for me, I would actually increase your BPMs on that. I don't know exactly where you're sitting, and I'd need to be able to sit there and look at that. But I would increase it. I would make it hit, which would be a contrast to what the vocal's doing. So you're actually going to ride a thundering horse on that one. I would make it hit like a Texas shuffle. And then with what you're doing naturally with your vocal and you're stretching out your syllables, you'll have momentum and power going underneath that. That is traditional country. Traditional country applications. I'm hearing slapback. I'm hearing tremolo on a Telecaster. And I'm hearing it once you hit that chorus, I'm letting it gallop in a Texas shuffle that hits and have that stretched out syllables riding over the top of it like a tsunami wave with maybe one or two parts of harmony attached to that vocal over and under to your lead vocal. And I think it would tear their head off. And it would be so impactful. You don't have two shots at a first impression. And so I think what you did is fantastic. I think it's uniquely fresh because it's so old. So I think what we would do with that like I said, we would need to sit down and study the BPMs, and we would because right now it's trying to move and it's flowing underneath you and it's holding up your vocal, but it's a fantastic song that is not it's not able to power forward like it wants to. And old school country is powerful. Acoustic instruments are extremely powerful when they're allowed to just thunder forward. And I think there's something really cool right there that you and I can huddle up on. And we'll put a little plan in place once I show you the new groove, and you get used to it's amplifying the groove you already have. And by changing the BPMs a little bit, I think it'll be infectious. You'll be running around the house. It'll be then it's really stuck in your head, while still maintaining the old school country approach. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And that you're kind of right on a lot of the stuff. And one thing that I really need to work on with my writing is saying more and less, because everything that I seem to do has this kind of drawn out, it says too much, or it's long, slow BPMs, all of that, because I feel like I can't get everything out where I need it to get out. And so I have to add more. But yeah, bringing the BPMs up, making it short, a little shorter, and overall getting it to flow. Yeah, let's huddle up and get together on that one, because I do actually like that one.
The only reason you would alter the lyric, the only reason if that even happened, would be because your syllables, the way that the syllables hit, are percussive notes, no different than the snare drum notes or the hi-hat notes or the bell on the cymbal. They're all percussive notes. Your syllables have a groove. What's the lyric to your chorus?
Starts out, I spend
first two lines of your chorus.
I spend all my time window shopping. I can see that you've got a tag that says sold.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I spent all my time window shopping. Dun, dun, dun. See, I'm not doing the right melody because that's it. But you got this cool. I can almost hear your melody. I almost heard it just then, and it slipped away from me. Damn! I'm finally having performance issues, y'all. Y'all are witnessing it first time.
Carson, when I heard it, it reminded me kind of the type of melody that they use in You Ain't Gotta Call Me Darling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh, baby.
yeah, it kind of reminded me of a David Allen Coe song.
Yeah.
Somebody told me,
But it's also George Jones. So
Yeah.
you're pulling water out of the same well. But it's like, I spend all my time window shopping. Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun,
agree, though. That's what I was gonna say. Was maybe pull the BPMs up just a hair
dun.
so it flows.
Yeah, and you could tick-tock the crap out of that with the bass. Dun, 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 dun,
Like
dun,
upright bass or something. Yeah.
da, 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 da. The dun,
it's
dun,
really
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, dude, I'm just telling you, that would go right to the house. Boom, to the house, right there.
Yeah. That's good. It's sold. Just like your song. It's sold.
Mhm.
I love it. It's been good here on Two Step Tribe tonight. We've had Katie, Beth, and Rusty Mihm here all night with us tonight on Two Step Tribe, hanging out on the show. Not only live, so you can check it out on YouTube at Two Step Tribe or any of the other platforms, but you'll be able to check it out on different radio stations. Too many right now. I don't want to list them all because we're running into our time window here. So I want to make sure to say thank you all for tuning in. Stay tuned in, stay involved, and get together to find out what is going on here with the tribe and what we've got coming up for artists. For exactly the reason, like Katie, Beth, and Rusty brought up, they'll be playing in an area, and we are plugging in with all sorts of people right now that literally, if I'm going to be on the phone, and Uncle Ryano is, and we're constantly plugging in for all these multiple things that will go on that will include every one of you right here. It's not for us. It's literally for everyone. So it makes sense to turn around and go, hey, by the way, I've got so-and-so, and they'll be in this location, by the way. And then again, we'll get back to you as well on what's going on with the Gold Star concert series as well, with the CMA or with the Foundation and the AMA. So we've got several things in the works right now. But Carson, it has been great to have you on and witness this. I know exactly what it's like to have Uncle Ryano and then me writing songs and stuff, and then I'm listening and I'm like, what's he gonna say? So it's neat to get to watch him doing that with you and other people. And then Katie, Beth, and Rusty, like just witnessing you and your journey and what you're doing. I'm like, take off and keep doing it. Don't wait for someone's slip, someone's anything. Just keep going. Get your what's it called? Feed yard?
Well, the thing is every
light on.
Yeah, every one of you guys represent each other. That's what's so beautiful about this. And every time it's like with Bree up in Nashville, Bree is doing tremendous, phenomenal things. A beautiful spirit, a veteran, a glorious, phenomenal talent, a beautiful heart. And, you know, she's the ambassador for the CMAs in Nashville. She's also, she's going to step forward and be one of the ambassadors for the Sergeant Two-Step Foundation. So we're, you know, each one of you guys will be representatives of this because, and you're all helping us. We cannot do it alone. We can rally and show you, we can be the lighthouse, which is our rally point. But you guys, it's always been your tribe. I'm not tribe, your tribe. You've always been tribe. Tracy's tribe. You know what y'all are doing? Y'all are taking it and pushing the boundaries of it. And we're going to go from Arizona to the Atlantic Ocean, all the way up to the Canadian border, which we're already kind of there now. And we'll continue to push westward until we hit the Pacific. And we will have expanded the Texas state line all the way across the lower 48. That's what we're doing, y'all. Over into the UK with Emily, Emily Perkins, who's going to be going over there. Yep, and she's got a big following over there. You guys as well know DJ Nick. He's tribe all the way, you know, and y'all are, you know, making friends from West Texas to the UK. Boom. What's more tribe than that, people?
Yeah.
Right?
It's so cool.
Emily is now Emily Perkins is who is doing Women in Music, by the way, Katie Beth with me. So for the Texas chapter, so Women in Music, it was already kind of happening like off the record, so to speak. But I was like, well, wait a minute, we've got airtime that we can fill with that whole chapter right there. So she just got married, so congratulations to the Perkins. They're now the Perkins too. Literally, y'all can look them up on Instagram. But Emily's going to be coming in to do some Women in Music segments on the radio with me. So
She's great. She's super nice.
yeah, she's a powerhouse voice too. But Women in Music is brand new as well, like as a show. So there you go, Katie. But also, Uncle Ryano, when you were speaking, Rusty probably may want to get with you or me or someone as we move forward with what we're doing with the Two-Step Foundation, because he's actually a Marine. So I was like, wait a minute, right here in Texas. So, but we do have, man, the veterans that we have, the artists themselves, the community itself already out there is amazing. But it's got to be the people that turn around and they go to do the work, and it's like not waiting for one person to do all the work. So that's how it happens. It's, it's whoever picked up a phone and went and did it. I'm like, yeah, sure, go do it. I mean, it helps the community, and as long as it's for the right thing, giving back to the people and taking care of the community and taking care of everything from foster kids to families who have lost their loved one, taking care of all of us. So everything in between. So that's what we're taking care of, is the people. So it's been great to have you all on here on Two-Step Tribe, and to end it on that subject. And Carson, you did amazing. I love it. I cannot wait to hear that song.
Me either. I can't wait to hear it.
Me too.
I know, right? I can't wait. I will be in touch. I have a whole new bio I'm going to shoot over to your people. And then I have to just show this picture because it was sent to me, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Gosh.
It's Carson, and it's for those of you who are going to go over and look, but mainly for us right here. Where is your horse here? Here it is. Right here. There it is. Where were you at, Carson? Look at the horse there. I was like, oh.
That is wow. That's an old one. That's from
really?
A good couple years ago. That was actually at the house outside of Houston.
Yeah.
We lived on had a nice pipeline levee easement right next to us, and the grass was all real green. But that's my gal. There's a old painting up there of her. That's my girl.
I see it. But yeah, great pictures.
We tried to do pictures like that, and our horse tried to eat the damn guitar.
Well,
our horses were not having a photographer out in the pasture at all.
That didn't go well.
And you can't get picked. You got to have somebody back there with a water bottle or a flag or something. It's always, everything else is interesting.
Yeah. Just wait till there's kids one day. All right, everybody. It is Two-Step Tribe. We are closing out tonight and saying thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Keep tuning in for the tribe. We're going to close up shop here and say thank you for joining us. Uncle Ryano, thank you again. Another great night here on Two-Step Tribe with Katie Beth and Rusty Mihm. Again, go check that out. KatieBeth.myApp. You also go to Instagram, Carson Clay Music. Check him out. Go over to Instagram. It's very easy to find out what he's doing too. They're both playing this weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This has been a Patriots Inside the Wire production. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Two-Step Tribe, where you, the viewer, are always the rock star of this show. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. We cannot do this without you. Your uncle says so, and you are loved and appreciated. Sergeant Two-Step, sign us out. Let's load up and roll out.